All right, we are live. Hey, everybody, it's John Nemo. Look at this. I've already got questions coming in. I love it. I love it. I love it. John is asking, will this be recorded, please? And thanks. Tech God willings, John. Yes. If the tech gods smile upon us, I will have a recording. I make no guarantees with tech. We've got a huge exclamation point from another John. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, Michael is in here. Look forward to the content. Welcome each and every one of you. Now, what I'd love to do as people are getting logged in before we go live, and obviously I'm John Nemo. Nice to see you. I'd love to learn more about you. So tell me in the comments where you're logging in from and what type of work you do. I love to have as much interaction as I can on these live sessions and kind of custom tailor questions. So if you've got questions, fire away. We'll make sure we do all that. John is saying, sweet. Yes, we're hoping for the recording, right? Meantime, put in the comments if you haven't already where you're logging in from, what type of work you do. Again, my name is John Nemo. This is LinkedIn Live. If you've never heard of me, welcome. I'm the author of this fantastic little book, LinkedIn Riches, if I do say so myself. How about shameless self-promotion, man? Anyway, I'm not used to this screen. So really excited today to take some key lessons from this book where we're going to talk about how to turn cold LinkedIn conversations into booked calls fast. One of the real challenges that I see time and again in my own inbox and then with our clients, obviously doing the done for you LinkedIn lead gen is what happens when a lead goes cold? What happens when a conversation goes cold? How do you get someone re-engaged? So we're going to dive deep into that as well today. And John says, thanks for giving out freely. Absolutely. One of the core things in the book is you have to demonstrate expertise. You have to actually show people how they can, get good results. You can't just claim authority and claim expertise. So that's why I'm here today doing this. All right. Look at Jonathan. We're all having a productive Friday. You're here. If you're watching this, you're being productive. All right. Love it. Therese is here, franchise consultant from Ohio. I bet you're getting excited for college football season then. All right. Great to have you here, Therese. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you haven't already, let me know in the comments where you're logging in from, what type of work you do. I want to make sure I get to know everybody here, bring as much value as I can. All right. Oh, Vienna, client of ours. How are you? Good to see you on here. I didn't know you were coming on. That's awesome. Yes. Assets recoverable management in LA. Fantastic. All right. John is in here, Texas, travel fitness coach and digital marketing agency for gyms. Oh, that's good niching. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Love it. Love it. Love it. Jennifer, oh, this is live. Watch this. Look, it's live. Hey. Yes, it's me, Jennifer. Woo! I'm here, Jennifer. This is live. This is not recorded. There are no robots involved. I am not a robot. All right. Yes, Jamie's in here, the Buckeye fan. All right. I love it. I love it. I love it. What type of work do you do, Jamie? Tell us in the comments. I want to make sure we get everybody covered here. Are you the franchise consultant? I can't remember. No, Teresa's the franchise consultant, but Jamie's obviously a Buckeye fan. Tell us what you do in the comments. All right, we got Larry checking in from Phoenix, CPA. I can tell from the title. Love it, love it, love it. All right, good. So lots of people coming in. This is fantastic. That's just I want to get my money's worth. Oh my gosh. That's fantastic. All right. So again, my name is John Nemo. I'm so excited to be here. You're right. Football has nothing to do with franchise consulting, but I'm in football mode. Listen, training camp is right around the corner, Therese. This is our year. The Minnesota Vikings. We have been disappointed since 1961 as fans of this team. It's time. Victor, what? Victor the Vikings talking. Hold on. Tell Therese to cheer for the Vikings. We need the help. All right. So anyway, all the goofball stuff aside. All right. Oh, FranNet. Yep. We know FranNet well. All right. So we've got more folks here. Kathleen is checking in, life coach from Pennsylvania. Fantastic. Good to have you. John King, the one and only. All right. From Boston. Love it, love it, love it. All right. We got Joe Ward coming in, author and business coach. Northern Virginia. Washington Commanders fan, perhaps. Training camp going on. All right. Nathan is in here. Looking forward to the event. Fantastic. Good to have you, my friend. All right. Who else we got? Leadership coach. All right. Jamie Cool, keynote speaker. 2 specific ghosts. Right. Well, we're going to help you get rid of those ghosts. We ain't afraid of no ghosts. 1980s reference, of course, Ghostbusters. All right. We got Mike in here, software consulting and development. Fantastic. Good to see you, my friend. Again, let us know in the comments where you're logging in from, what type of work you do. I want to have a lot of fun and interaction. If you have questions as we go along, feel free to ask them in the comments. Royce is here, of course, giving me the weather report from Mesa. It's only 105. Oh, my goodness gracious. Joe is here. Pura vida. I don't know what that means. Is that pure life? Is that something else? All right. Not a fan, but want the Browns. All right. I love it. Bangalore. All right. Wow. We're going international. This is fantastic. All right. So again, I want to welcome everybody. My name is John Nemo. If you're not familiar with me, if this is your first time, I'm the author of the book, LinkedIn Riches. Been doing LinkedIn lead generation since 2012 for myself and for clients. We have a full-scale agency, Nemo Media Group. And what I'm going to really cover today is what to do when a LinkedIn lead goes cold, when a one-on-one LinkedIn conversation goes ghost, right? How do you get people re-engaged? How do you follow up? How do you do it without being spammy or annoying or salesy or doing the dreaded, just checking in, circling back, bumping this up in the inbox, none of which work and all of which we hate. So I want to make sure that we, cover that in depth today for you. Good. Jamie's on the Ghostbusters kick with me. Fantastic. I'm glad you got the reference. Costa Rica. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Splitting ghosts is good. There you go. All right. We've got Daphne's in here. Market meditation pods. Well, that's interesting for businesses in California. Huh. Wow. All right. Jennifer, New York to Europe. You're in Europe? Well, that's cool. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So we got a lot of cool people in here. Again, let us know where you're logging in from, what type of work you do. One thing I will point out that's annoying about the live stream, and don't get freaked out, I can't type in comments. I can verbally respond to you and post your comments, but if I type them in, they don't show up on LinkedIn. Still ask questions, still leave comments, and I'll address them here, in real time whenever I can. What I'm going to do today is kind of a mixture of things. I'll be on live, obviously talking, showing, sharing things, and also off camera, showing some different training videos and templates and ideas. So without further ado, I want to make sure Larry has to leave. Larry, you can't leave. You can't leave. You're trapped. I'm hoping we'll have a recording, God willing. All right. So without further ado, here's what I want to do. I want to make sure we dive in. And in this first training, I'm going to go in depth really about how to understand, why somebody ghosts you on LinkedIn, and then some creative ways to kind of re-engage those leads and follow up. So without further ado, let's get going. So if you've been following me for any amount of time, one of my favorite things to say about LinkedIn and lead generation and getting new business is the money is in the mailbox. The money is in the messaging. But sometimes, despite your best efforts, those conversations go cold. So let me take you into my inbox and show you what I mean. What do you do when you've got all these different conversations, you've got all these leads going? What happens when a conversation goes cold, when a lead stops responding, when they stop engaging? So let's say, for example, I'm using Becca from our team, but let's say we had a bunch of back and forth, and let's say I sent over some content, or I sent a proposal, or I sent a video, whatever it might be, but she went quiet. Like, what do you do? How do you get someone to re-engage when these conversations have gone quiet? So I'm going to start by sharing what not to do, right? You're going to see this all the time, and we've been trained to do this is, just keep doing this. Hey, just following up, just checking back in, just bumping this back up, circling back. Those are not something you want to send. And the reason being, you're immediately signaling to the other person, oh, this is a sales conversation, or I'm desperate, or I only want money from you, something like that. I only care about myself and what I want to hear about, this proposal I sent. So there's so many better ways to get people warmed back up and re-engage. And that's what I want to cover next. So the best thing you can do is look at your prospect's profile. Now I'm going to use Joe Walsh. Him and I have been talking. He's a great guy. Get better soon, Joe. He's in the hospital right now. So everyone tell Joe, get better soon. I think he's going to watch this replay. But Joe is from Chicago, right? So Joe and I have been talking. He's going to engage us for our Done For You LinkedIn lead gen services once he's out of the hospital. Again, I can look at Joe's profile and I can pick up conversation building ideas, icebreakers, rapport builders. I can look at where he's worked, right? I've already said like where he lives in Chicago. I can look even lower and see like where his education has been, right? Where he went to school, volunteering, things he's passionate about, skills that he's worked on. I can look at what other people have said about him. I can even look at, recent posts. If he's had recent activity where he's had certain posts, I can say, hey, cool, I saw you posted about XYZ. So let me give you some real-time examples of how to do this very simply and some scripting. So let's say Joe and I have already been talking. I'm trying to get him to re-engage to respond to an ebook I sent over or something like that. I'm going to look at my own life and say, what do I know about Chicago, Illinois, where Joe lives? So I'm going to go in and have a script ready, and I'll say, my apologies, Joe. I just remembered you lived in Chicago. If you're a Bears fan, that's their football team for my international folks, the NFL, National Football League, Chicago Bears. You likely need some emotional support right now after that game, right? So again, this is a sports-related joke to get Joe going, right? Because again, even if he's not a sports fan and I don't know that up front, I don't know if Joe's a Bears fan. I just know he lives in Chicago. But again, it's a way for me to kind of say, you know what, I'm a sports nut. I know he lives in Chicago. His football team just lost a really heartbreaking game. Even if he's not a fan, he'll write back. Because what people say when I've used this script is, if they're not a sports fan, they'll just write back and say, yeah, I'm not really a sports fan, but I saw that people were really upset about it. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. The key is to get them to re-engage. Now, in this case, when I sent Joe something like this, he immediately responded, right? He immediately responded, was like, oh, man, lifelong Bears fan here, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then he started talking trash about the Minnesota Vikings, which is not appropriate and will not be tolerated, Joe. Now, we're all of a sudden building rapport and bonding around our football teams. This is the key, right? I'm warming him back up with a non-work conversation, and it's personalized to something about Joe, where he lives, where he works. So another example could be, let's say I'm not a sports fanatic, but here's another example. I'm just going to look at my own life and say, well, what do I know about Chicago? And this is a true thing, right? I could say, hey, just thought of you, Joe. My wife was talking about summer vacation ideas last night, and Chicago came up. What would you recommend? You know, and if you haven't really done this in your life and you're like, well, I don't want to fake this, you could just say, hey, I see you live in Chicago. I've always wondered about visiting there. If I was to come, we have, 3 boys under the age of 10. What would you recommend for the full Chicago experience? Again, if I'm asking Joe, hey, I've always wanted to visit Chicago, Illinois. What would you recommend for, a family of 5 or people with 3 young boys who are into science or whatever? Like, just be a human being, right? The idea is take what you relate to in your real life when you see things on someone's profile and just make conversation about that. So, hey, I see you live in this town. How do you survive the winters? Or, hey, I see you live in this town. Are you a fan of their sports teams? Hey, I see you live in this town. I've always wanted to visit. What would you recommend? Here's what my family's most interested in. People love to talk about themselves, right? Joe is no exception. We're all that way. I'm that way, by the way. If you come on LinkedIn and you look at my profile and you say, hey, I see you live in Minneapolis, St. Paul. How do you survive the winters? I would immediately write back, because that's different than 99% of the LinkedIn messages I get. If you look through my profile and started looking at, my goofy posts and things like that, and commented about something I wrote and said, oh, hey, how did your live event go? I see you had a live event, or love the story about you and your son. You're now talking my favorite language, which is all about me. You don't have to every time be like, and by the way, what about the business? Remember, they're going to see in their inbox the previous conversation. It's not like they're going to forget what we were talking about, correct? So if I just send Becca a fun message here and mention Chicago or whatever, it's not like she can't immediately scroll back up and be like, oh yeah, that's the LinkedIn guy. He sent me the ebook. He's been waiting to hear back. So again, there's lots of different ways you can do this, but the whole key is you find something on their profile that's personal, related to your life, because your life is unique, right? Would you ever want to visit Chicago? What do you know about Chicago? What could you ask someone who's from Chicago, or the school they went to, or the companies they worked at? Do you see how easy this is? So here's an example of some, copy that I would use. If somebody had posted that they just were in Florida for a work conference, again, on the LinkedIn profile, right? I can see what people have been posting about. So I can go to Becca's profile and I can look here under activity and posts and see, what has she been posting about? Did she recently travel somewhere? Did she recently win an award for work? You can just click this arrow to go through recent posts or comments or things she's, uploaded. Now, I could, again, relate that to my life. Like if she had traveled to Florida for a work conference, I could say, hey, saw your post about getting to travel to work for Florida. given it's -13 here in Minnesota, please stand outside and tell me if the sun and heat still exist, right? Ha ha ha. Here's the thing. Humor's undefeated. And I write this in my book, right? Humor is undefeated. If you can make people laugh, you're always going to have an audience and you're always going to have engagement. That has never not been the case. And I know people say, oh no, my audience is too serious. You know, I work with attorneys and lawyers and doctors and executives and CEOs. They're still human. They still like to laugh. They're still people. They still go to their kids, you know, sporting events on Saturday morning and cheer for them. Like, they're still regular people. And the more you can do that, the more you're going to stand out on LinkedIn. Now, of course, with humor, please be careful. Like, I shouldn't have to say that, but like, if you're going to make jokes, be careful with that. So I can talk more about that later. But like, one of my big things with humor, and I'll just pull up my own profile, is I do a lot of self-deprecation, because if I can make fun of myself, then that's safe humor, because, right, I'm poking fun at my own goofiness with my fashion photos or my popcorn bucket photos. You know, be careful. If you're going to try to use humor, you got to be careful that it's not taken the wrong way. Here, I'm going to show you here a great example of how to use humor plus some visuals. So let's say, for example, Becca and I are in my inbox, and let's say we've been going back and forth. We've been talking about some proposals. We've, you know, shared some ideas, and Becca has gone kind of quiet. So I've got a great script that I use. And again, I love this about LinkedIn. They realize the inbox is supposed to feel like a one-on-one text messaging thread or conversation. There's a reason you can add animated GIFs. There's a reason you can do, you know, videos and attachments and emojis and things like that. They want it to feel conversational, because LinkedIn knows, oh, at the end of the day, these are two human beings talking to each other one-on-one. So what I might do is, I've got a great little script here where I'm going to show you. So this is the text I have, and I'm going to use some of my favorite GIFs. Now, animated GIFs are something where, again, it's a great image that just kind of repeats itself. So one of my go-to ones is Caddyshack, where he says, we're waiting. Here it is. Well, we're waiting, right? So if I was waiting on a proposal from Becca, I would literally say, I would send this animated GIF in her inbox. This is humor plus an animated GIF. Do you still want to talk about our done-for-you services? So I can literally send this message plus the animated GIF. So let me send that. And you can see in the inbox how it shows up, right? So Becca's going to get this funny GIF. Well, we're waiting. And then I'll say, sorry, I couldn't resist. And I might add something like, that's my favorite GIF to send when I'm waiting on something. Did you still want to talk about the proposal? If so, what would you suggest as the next step? If not, no worries. You know, just reply no, and I can cease my politely persistent follow-up. See too how I'm using emojis. I'm adding humor. I'm making it fun, lighthearted. There's another great one if you want to do the, I'm waiting. There's a great Mr. Bean. There it is, where he's just looking at his watch and he's sitting here. So like, if you put this one in, same idea. Like, you could be like, hey, Becca, this is me right now. And again, you're poking fun, you're having humor, all kidding aside, super excited to hear your thoughts on, XYZ. And then just send it, right? And again, it's a fun way to follow up. It's add emojis so they know you're joking, right? Give them those visual cues. Another great one that I love to use involves the greatest dog on earth, Rosie, right? So you can see I've got these cute pictures of Rosie the dog, who literally, this is a picture of her wanting me to take her on a walk. This is, she will come and stalk me like all good dogs do and give me the puppy dog eyes. And so I will literally, let me download this image. I'm going to show you how you can use this. And I'll say, Becca, this is what Rosie the dog does when I don't respond to her request for a walk. Should I stand vigil like this outside your LinkedIn inbox until I hear back about the proposal, right? And again, add the humor, the laughter. And then I'll click the little paperclip and I'll upload Rosie the dog. Who can resist those puppy dog eyes, by the way, right? Cat people, you could never get away with this. So I'm going to send the image of the dog, and in her inbox, Becca's going to see this message. This is what Rosie the dog does when I don't respond to a request for a walk. Like, again, test this, right? Test humor, test it. Find what feels comfortable for you, what fits your personality. The animated GIFs are great. Again, it's just a lighthearted way to have fun. I very rarely see people get offended and upset and like, how dare you follow up, right? Again, think about the difference between that and the whole just following up, just checking back in, bumping this up, circling back. See the difference between that and then these ultra kind of personalized follow-ups where you're having fun with it. You're displaying some humor. And again, the more you can personalize this, the better results you're going to get. So another question is, hey, what if I try all these different things in the inbox? What if I'm trying all the humor and the personalized follow-up? I see you live in this town and how do you like, this school? Or I see you posted about, shoveling your driveway. Do you need me to come over and help? Like, what if you've tried all these personal follow-ups and the person still is ghosting and you're kind of at wit's end, right? People will say, well, when should I give up? When should I stop following up? If you're at the point, now my advice on when I stop following up is when I'm dead or I get a hard no. If I get a hard no, I'll stop following up, or if I drop dead, because as you know, and as I know, the long game is what works. I've literally had people say, I'm so glad you followed up. I had a life event. I mean, I've literally had people say, thanks for your patience. There was a hurricane. Or thanks for your patience. Joe Walsh is a great example. Joe went quiet for a little bit. Turned out the guy was admitted to the hospital, right? And ended up having to get surgery and stuff. And so he wrote me back and was like, hey, I do want to move forward with the project. Sorry, I was out of pocket. I ended up having to get hospitalized for XYZ. I'll be ready in this many weeks. But it's like, you just don't know. Like, there's real life going on. So you have to just understand that sometimes following up, it's not about you, right? They have a life too. They have other things that are busy. So keep following up. But if you get to a point where you're like, listen, I've been following up for this long, I'm ready to move on with my life, I'm going to try one last time. Here's what I've seen work really good for kind of a last ditch message. And it's literally just one line that you send on LinkedIn. Have you given up on this? Have you given up on this project? Have you given up on us working together? And again, this is at a stage where you've already talked about working together. You've already offered services. You've already sent a proposal. They just haven't signed up yet. But they had once upon a time wanted to work with you, wanted to hire you. Then they just went completely ghost. You tried everything else and they never followed up. Now, the reason this works is it kind of puts the onus back on them. Have they given up? Are they going to miss out? You don't want to look like the desperate person chasing. You want to have that authority frame. And this is something I got from Chris Voss, the FBI hostage negotiator, Never Split the Difference, where he's like, just sends us one line. Have you given up on this? Or have you given up on us working together? There's another line. This is a little more blunt, and this is from a guy in my coaching group from the East Coast, but this also works out really well. He sends a message that says, are we doing this? Would appreciate a response. So some people feel like, oh, that's a little too harsh, a little too edgy, especially me being in the Midwest where we're all passive aggressive. But he's from the East Coast, and I have used this. It gets responses because it's so short. Are we doing this? Would appreciate a response. That's the key thing, is understanding how to just make it very simple and very clear. Like, hey, are we doing this or not? Like, are we moving on or not? The reality is, if someone wants to do it and they're interested, they're going to respond to that. And that's when they're going to say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I dropped the ball on this. My kid got sick, or, oh my gosh, work blew up for the last couple of weeks. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Like, people will say, thank you for following up. Or they'll be like, actually, yeah, I'm not interested. I found a different vendor. Oh, good. Well, now I can cross you off my list and stop wasting time chasing you and personalizing. Or I might say, if I'm selling LinkedIn lead generation services, have you given up on using LinkedIn to find leads? Because again, you're kind of calling them out, but in a non-confrontational way. Have you given up? Are you moving on? And they might say, yeah, I have given up. I'm going to do search engine optimization instead, right? I'm going to use Facebook ads. But again, the idea is you're kind of just saying, are you giving up, or are we doing this? Would appreciate a response. Basically like, hey, don't leave me hanging. That's a little more aggressive. And, you don't have to do that, but it does work. Right? Would appreciate a response. Just 2 lines. So again, those are ways where at the end of the day, if you've tried everything else and you're ready to give up, those are some different scripts that you can use. Now, if you want all of this, I know we've covered so much ground. I've got all this in my book for free. So if you want the best advice, and this is true, by the way, clients do fire us. Like, you should see the stories on here. Oh my God. So I just updated our website. Catherine got too many clients too quickly. This is our done for you LinkedIn lead gen. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. Bill, like too many clients too fast. The cool thing is we have multiple stories. Anyway, go to the Nemo Media Group website, click on the free resources, or just go under free, and then you see the free books, or just click free. This book, LinkedIn Riches, I completely rewrote it all. I completely updated it, expanded it. If you've read it before, but haven't gotten the new version in 2025, I doubled the size. So I doubled the entire book. It has all these scripts in there, all these step-by-step, word-for-word scripts of how to get people re-engaged. If you sign up here, this will send you can either get the audiobook copy or the Kindle file or a PDF. So you can grab it right there. If you don't want to opt in, just go to my profile, and it's here on my profile as a PDF. You can just download it there. But again, if you want a deeper dive, if you want all these scripts in one place, definitely go grab the book LinkedIn Riches. And again, the key thing is when you're doing this follow-up, when you're in these inboxes, find ways to be creative, find ways to be personable, find ways to build rapport, find ways to talk about non-work stuff. That's the biggest thing is look at their profile. They're giving you tons of hints about things you could mention that aren't related to work, where they live, where they went to school, recent activities in their life. Take advantage of this. It's not rocket science. And again, it's worth your time to do with someone who already is interested, already has been talking to you, already looked at a proposal, already said they wanted to see the content. That's when you want to marry this in. So there you go. All right, I'm back on live. So again, I saw some questions come in, so I'm going to answer those, but I wanted to make sure if you want the exact scripts that I've been showing in the videos, they're in the book. So they're in the book, LinkedIn Riches. You can obviously get the hard copy on Amazon, or if you want a free digital copy, the Kindle version, the PDF, or the audiobook for free. It's also for sale on Audible. Just go to nemomediagroup.com/free, and then you'll see all the different books you can get for free. Opt in for this one, LinkedIn Riches, and then in the book are the actual like follow-up scripts. You can copy paste them, use them. But again, you can see the strategy involved and how different what I'm showing you is versus 99% of people on LinkedIn. And I want to answer a couple questions. And if you have questions right now, put them in the comments. I can display them. Okay, so let's see. Okay, good. Feedback. All right. Ayanasi likes, are we doing this? Yeah. Are we doing this? Are we moving forward? Have you given up on this? Right. Put the onus back on them, which is what I really like to do, is just kind of like, hey, like what's going on? Okay, this was one of the questions I wanted to get to. Matt asked, how long do you give them before you follow up on an ebook or free content? So typically, again, it's all personal preference. So the reality is if I offer Matt a one-on-one LinkedIn message and say, hey, Matt, would you like a free digital copy of my book, LinkedIn Riches? It gives you all my best tips on how to get leads on LinkedIn. If Matt says yes, and I give him the free ebook, digitally share it with him, I like to wait probably about 2 days, 2 to 3 days. Again, depending on how thick the content is, if it's a 5-minute walkthrough video, maybe I wait 1 day. If it's a podcast episode, if it's a long 2-hour training, if it's a full book, then I'm going to wait longer. I would say, for Matt or anyone else, just depending on how long the content is. For an ebook, maybe 2 days, 1 to 2 days. For a big longer book or a longer video, maybe 3 to 4 to 5 days. But basically the idea is, the fortune is in the follow-up. You got to follow up. You got to make sure they actually received it. They got it okay. And then what did they think? And when they start ghosting, or if they start ghosting, that's where those personal messages really come in. Okay. Mike is driving and can't take notes. Will there be a recording? Yes, I'm hoping. Tech God's willing, my friend. I'm glad you're listening. Do not crash off the road. Mike Popoff is on the road. Everyone watch out. No speeding tickets either, Mike. Okay. So again, if you're finding this helpful, I want to know that. Type more in the comments. More in the comments if you want more tips, because I got even next level, more advanced tips. Great question, Ayanasi. Just go to Amazon.com and type in LinkedIn Riches or type in John Nemo, and you can get the physical book. So if you want the actual paperback, printed out, shipped to you from Amazon, just go to Amazon.com and it's on there. All right. Love it. More questions. Okay. Jamie, I'm reading this one live. Do you think it's worth saying something along the lines of, it's hard on the schedule of a small business owner not to hear from you? Please let me know either way. Yeah, I would say that's too desperate. So, and I'm glad you're testing that, Jamie. One of the core lessons I've learned over the years, two books that have had a huge impact on my success when it comes to sales and lead generation and customer service is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, and another book that's lesser known called How to Have Confidence and Power in Dealing with People by a guy named Les Giblin. And one of the key things is you always want to preserve the other person's ego. So both books talk about how important it is for the other person to feel, important and feel validated and feel affirmed. And you never want to have anything that could be construed in any which way as passive aggressive, right? Or like as insulting them, or, hey, don't you know I'm busy and how dare you not book with me? And you said, I had an example, and this happens all the time where somebody said, yeah, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to sign this, or I'm going to move forward, or I'll send in the information, and then they don't, right? And it can be very frustrating. And you might want to say something like, hey, like, I don't appreciate being left hanging, or I thought you said you were going to sign the deal, or whatever. What I have done, and this is a little pro tip outside, this training, is I will actually use AI, and I will go in and I will say, hey, this person is ghosting me. They said they were going to sign the paperwork for this, or they said they were going to book a call. I'm feeling this way about it. Here's what I really want to say. I really want to say it's hard on my schedule not to hear from you. Please let me know either way. I know that's not the ideal way. Could you rewrite this in the style of Dale Carnegie or Les Giblin so that the other person can preserve their ego? So leverage AI tools, because if you tell it what you want, as far as like, I want to get this person to book a call with me. I'm mad that they ghosted me. They said they would, but I know I can't just say that. So can you rewrite this in a way that preserves their ego, but also preserves my authority, my credibility, and my status? And so again, I'm getting a little bit into the weeds here, but what I'll do is I'll take what I want to write emotionally, I'll put it into AI, and I'll say, hey, help me slow my roll, rewrite this in the style of Dale Carnegie and Les Giblin so that the other person's ego is preserved and they don't feel offended. They don't think this is passive aggressive, and it'll catch it. And it'll say, hey, most of what you wrote is good, but this line could be read the wrong way. Say this instead. And it's a fine line. So Jamie brings up a good thing about, you don't want to lose leverage and authority in terms of, hey, listen, I'm busy. I'm not just going to wait forever for you to book a call. I got things to do, and I don't want you no showing on calls and tying up my calendar. So you want to preserve that authority, but you also want to communicate with the prospect in a way where you're not insulting them. They're not feeling offended. They're not feeling ticked off, because the moment, and this is why my favorite line of all time from How to Win Friends and Influence People is, your ability to handle people is what makes you rich. Plain and simple. Your ability to handle people is what makes you rich. And if you don't know how to handle someone, if you don't know how to communicate in a way that preserves their ego and lets them still feel important and doesn't offend them and doesn't make them think you're being passive aggressive, you will lose the sale. You might win an argument, but you'll lose the sale. And so that's the secret and the nuance to all this. Okay, we got lots of comments coming in. All right, Teresa says, I have a cute picture of my dog. Yeah, and say patiently waiting for you. Yeah, and just have fun with it. Be light with it. And I know Jamie brought up something earlier about, like, if they're going through something hard, it could rub them the wrong way. So yeah, I mean, that can happen. Like, with Joe Walsh, it was like, hey, I just hope you're okay. Like, did something happen? And legitimately, like, his wife actually texted me back, was like, yeah, he's actually in the hospital. I have his phone. I'm like, oh my God. Like, well, don't worry about the business stuff. Just get healthy. Be a human, right? Be a nice person. All right. So we've got people saying they want more. All right. Good. More. I love it. All right. Good. We got everybody coming in. More. Okay. And Vienna's saying, is there anything in the print that isn't in the download? No, they're the same. So if you get the PDF or the audiobook or the Kindle, they're the same as what's in here. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So what are the most common refusals and rebuttals? Okay. That's interesting, John. So, one of the most common rebuttals is, I haven't had time to read it yet. I haven't had time to look at the video. I haven't had time to check out the free tips you sent over. So studying that's the most common objection you're going to get. What's really behind that is, I don't see how what you're offering me will solve my problems. I'm not emotional about it. It doesn't feel urgent. It's not important, right? So what you need to do, there's a couple ways you can attack this. What you can basically say is hit on their pain points. What I mean by that is, I'll give you a couple examples. Let me go over, because I actually did this as an exercise with my own content and was essentially saying like, hey, why are people, I keep getting this common thing about, yeah, I haven't had time to read your book. I haven't had time to look at your book. I haven't had time to look at your book. And I finally was like, studying like, why can I not get people to just open this, right? So let me share my screen with you. And then I'll just do, okay, share entire screen. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is the pain points. And what I really understood was, if I can talk about these pain points in my follow-up message, people are much more likely to want to read the book. Meaning, if I can say, hey, John, if you're waking up today not knowing where your next client is coming from, LinkedIn Riches is going to have the answers. So, if you haven't checked it out already, if that's his core thing right now, right? If the other core pain points that I know from my target audience is the feast or famine referral cycle. So I might do a follow-up message about the book like, hey, Sally, if you're feeling stuck on the feast or famine referral cycle, I'm so excited for you to read LinkedIn Riches, or I'm so excited for you to check out the video I sent over. It's going to solve that once and for all. Or, hey, Bill, are you just so done with tire kicker calls from LinkedIn leads? If so, I'm pumped. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on the video, because I talk about exactly how to get rid of that. Or, hey, Joe, are you, looking to finally have this, a proven, predictable pipeline of qualified leads? If so, what I sent over will show you exactly how to get it. And again, that's the idea, is working some of these pain points to the messaging. And what you're going to find is it works really, really well. So I want to turn off my screen sharing without like destroying everything. Okay, good. I'm back. All right. So hopefully that's helpful for you, John, and everybody else. Is sprinkle some of that in. I also use humor sometimes, just if I haven't heard anything initially. If I don't have an immediate rebuttal, I might send something where, like, let's say I share the book with you on a Wednesday. Maybe I'm going to follow up Monday, and my message might say something like, hey, Josh, were you able to get into the book over the weekend, or did Netflix get in the way? Or did Happy Gilmore 2 get in the way, right? Like, because that movie's coming out today, and, I'm making a pop culture reference to, Netflix here in the United States. So there's ways you can, sprinkle in that type of thing where, did you have a chance to look at it, or did life get in the way? Did Netflix get in the way? Did a good show get in the way? Sometimes that will work really well. Yes, Dale Carnegie is genius. I agree 100%. Okay. And John's asking common digressions and suggestions to keep the door open. Some of the other ones are going to be, the big one that I see with the initial engagement around free content is, I haven't had time to get to it. And the way that you're going to attack that is with pain points. Are you suffering from, do you have a headache? Because what I sent over is literally Advil, right? So find the pain point, hit the emotional hot button. That's going to get them to at least stop and go, well, wait a minute, maybe I should go look at this. Because if he's saying this will get me off the feast or famine referral cycle, I am struggling with that. Or if I did wake up today not knowing where my next client is coming from, and he's promising this book will fix that, then yes, I'm going to go look at it. As opposed to, hey, just circling back, did you have a chance to look at the book? He's even like, no, I got a million things. I got to find a client. I need a client. Hey, are you looking to get your next client ASAP? Because this book will show you how. So those are some of the ideas of how you can do that. And yes, Les Giblin is the author, How to Have Confidence and Power in Dealing with People. And yeah, I'm glad that use AI. Like, what I do with AI when I'm upset, especially with like customer service or people ghosting or whatever, I'll write out everything I want to say, and I'll tell it how I'm feeling. And I'll be like, now I don't want to send this, but I need you to fix it so that the other person preserve their ego, don't trample on their ego, make them feel important and validated, but preserve my authority and credibility, because I don't want to look desperate or wishy-washy. So find a way for me to say to the other person, hey, like, I'm moving on if you don't book, right? Or I'm moving on if or whatever it might be, right? So good stuff. Yep. Remember, your messages instead of me messages. It's always about them. 100% right, Vienna. 100,000 million %. Yes. It's about them and what they want. Okay. Good. Now we're getting into AI talk. Oh gosh, I could do this a whole nother training on this, because I have more LinkedIn training I want to show you. So AI, like, I use ChatGPT, I use Claude, I use Gemini, I use Manus, I use them all. The bigger thing, in my opinion, is training the AI on who you are, what you're all about, how you like to respond to things. AI does best with context. So if you just go in and generically say, fix this, and it doesn't know anything about you, your personality, your story, how you like to communicate, it's not going to feel as authentic and good. Whereas if you go into AI and you create a project and you upload a bunch of project files, like I've literally uploaded all my books into AI. I've uploaded writing examples. I've uploaded email examples, LinkedIn messages. And then that way I say to the AI, like, hey, analyze everything that I do and how I communicate. Now take this angry email I want to send a prospect, write it with my vibe, my voice, my sense of humor, but also do these things, preserve their ego, etc. So train the AI on who you are and how you like to talk. It'll do an even better job, but they're all pretty good. All right. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah. Copilot. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I haven't used Copilot, so I don't know anything about that, Joe. All right. Without further ado, before we run out of time, I got more. Unless I know you want more. I know you're here. So let's get into another kind of high level way to turn those cold conversations into booked calls, into clients. This is another method I see almost no one using on LinkedIn, but when you use it, it's incredibly, incredibly effective. And again, this is a selective approach. What I'm going to show you, this is, again, you're not going to use this with just anyone and everyone. You're going to use this with someone who has already shown interest, already has said yes. Maybe even you've sent a proposal, but they've gone dark. So now I want to show you kind of a next level, higher level way to get even more personalized in your follow-up. So here we go. Nemo, super excited to show you some ways here on LinkedIn where literally you can put yourself in the palm of your prospect's hand. And it all has to do with the LinkedIn messaging, the inbox. So I'm going to use Becca Arco, an amazing member of our team here, as my guinea pig. I want to show you some different ways that you can actually do some personalized messaging. So let's say you go to the LinkedIn profile or the page of the person you want to talk to, and then you just click on message. Now at the very bottom, you see the little paper clip next to where it says write a message. Click that little paper clip to the left or tap on it. This is where you can get really creative. You can actually send a selfie video. So one of my favorite things to do, take a photo or video, and actually this will show the outside of the house here, but let me turn it around. Oh, baby. Hey, listen, the camera adds 10 pounds. In my case, it adds about 50. Just remember that. All right, let me get a good background here. We got the LinkedIn license plate. So one of the cool things you can do is I can actually use this feature on LinkedIn. Let me close this out to send Becca a selfie video. So again, where it says write a message in the LinkedIn inbox for Becca, click the little paperclip icon, tap on take a photo or video. Now you can open your photo library. So if you already have videos done, previously, you can do that. I'm going to actually turn around the camera and do a selfie video in real time for Becca. So this is what I would do with a prospect who's already engaged and interested on LinkedIn. I would send them a video, something like this. And let me make sure. Okay, so video. Okay, I had on photo. So now I have it on video. So see at the bottom, you can toggle between video and photo. And then I would just hit the video button and you can send the prospect, a direct one-on-one selfie video. So here we go. Hey, Becca, it's John Nemo. I thought I would put a face with the name. Do you ever use this feature in LinkedIn? It's super cool. Oh, there's my LinkedIn license plate. I know you need to see my credentials. Super excited about the ebook I sent over. I think it'll be perfect for you. It's exactly kind of what you've been looking for, what we talked about in our messages. So make sure you have a look at it. If you have any questions, I'm here, happy to chat more. I got my More Cowbell t-shirt on for you. So I'm ready to have a good Friday. I hope you are too. And be well. We'll talk soon about the ebook. And now you can actually review the video on LinkedIn, and if it all looks good, you just tap that blue send button in the top right corner, and it will send the video over. It's actually going to fire, you can see right into Becca's inbox, a selfie video. So you literally can do this with any prospect on LinkedIn through this one-on-one inbox, which is amazing. Now, if you're the type who is not about to do a selfie video, you don't feel comfortable with that, that's totally fine. You can see in the bottom right corner next to write a message, there's a little microphone. So if you tap that, you can see where it says hold to record, and you can literally, send a voice memo. This is a direct audio that would go straight to Becca. So if I didn't want to do a selfie video, I could still do this. I could tap this microphone, hold it, and record it, a simple voice message. So it could be something like this. Hey, Becca, it's John Nemo. Not sure if you use any of these new features on LinkedIn. I love doing this. Voice memos, videos. Anyway, super excited to hear your thoughts on the ebook. Yeah, and I was looking at your profile, and a couple things that really stood out to me are X, Y, and Z, which I would mention about her. Also, I see you live in Minnesota. That's so cool. I hope you're enjoying the land of 10,000 lakes. And anyway, excited to hear more about your thoughts on the ebook, and we'll go from there and talk more soon. And then if I let go of it now, it automatically sends it. That's the idea with that. Just make sure you practice it with someone that you're comfortable with. You can see above this where it says the message has been deleted. I actually sent Becca an audio memo I wasn't ready to do. So you're able to delete it. So if you hold on it, you can just click delete and it'll go away. So that's, you can delete the message. The other person's not going to see it if you do it right away. So those are two amazing things that you can do right here. Again, with the microphone, just hold the microphone down, slide away if you don't want to use it, or click the paper clip. You can go in here, and again, you can click tap, I should say, photo or video. You can send a photo. So if you're like, hey, just thinking of you, I'm at this conference or whatever, hey, do a little selfie photo or a photo of people, or you can do the whole video thing and show them, I can show you around my office, whatever it might be, or, a selfie video, which is what I would suggest. And then again, you just hold it, record it. There's other great options in here as well. If you click the paper clip, which I'll show more later, but like you can send animated GIFs, right? So you can do all kinds of fun things with that. Again, the whole key here is personalizing it. And when you're in the LinkedIn mobile app, the two most powerful things that work the best when you're communicating with fellow human beings are when they see our face, right? See my face, my expressions, my sense of humor, what I'm wearing, that's more powerful than text. So ideally, if you can do a video message like this, send it. You don't have to do it to 100 people a day. Pick people that are already interested in you, already engaged, already talking, they're already a lead, and you're just trying to follow up and get them, to respond to a proposal or a piece of content or whatever. This is a novelty thing too. They're not getting a bunch of selfie videos in their inbox. So if I close this, see how this stands out? So you have the text like here above. I was, testing out a GIF with Becca. I'll share that later if I haven't already. But again, you can see this video, the curiosity factor. Becca's going to go, what's this? Why is John Nemo standing in my inbox with a More Cowbell t-shirt, right? And again, you can add some text to it and say, Becca made you a quick video with some thoughts, and then hit send. So you can have that ready to go. So you can have text to go, or made you a quick audio. Like I would suggest you put a little text in below the audio or the video. But again, that's an amazing, amazing way to stand out from this sea of sameness in your LinkedIn inbox, in your messaging inbox. And the best thing of all is you can just look at the prospect's profile and look for things to mention. So, I see you worked here. I see you worked there. I see you went to school here, or you live there. And again, it's just an amazing way to really bridge that gap and create that, that one-on-one rapport, the know, the like, the trust. All right, I'm back, baby. And I see some good debates going on. This is something where I know Jamie asked, and Scott Scabell, I'm not surprised because you're like a video guru, came in and answered already. But yes, so there are AI tools. I would not recommend using them. And Scott answered it, but he's absolutely right. The whole problem with that is if people know it's faked. So there are literally AI tools that will clone your voice, and you can record the video once and then insert every name. So it could be like, hi, Joe. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Scott. Hi, John. I'm here to say blah, blah, blah. And it's like, people know right away, like, this isn't really a personal video for me. So like you see some examples where you'll get an email or a LinkedIn message and it'll have your website in the background. You're like, wow, they made a video just for me. And then they'll come on and they'll be like, hi, John Nemo. I help people with SEO and blah, 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 blah. And as you can see, I'm looking at your website, and it's like, well, this isn't a real personalized video. It's kind of, again, people are so wary and skeptical of that. Honestly, it's not worth the time. Believe me, I've tested all these tools. I've been curious too, like, hey, maybe this is a shortcut. And what you find is people are like, yeah, this isn't really personal. It's just you talking. Because the other challenge with this approach and this follow-up is it needs to be specific to whatever you've been bantering about. So the selfie video that you're sending would be, hey, I know I sent over the proposal last week about ABC. just had a couple more thoughts I wanted to put together in a video, as opposed to just spamming people, not spamming, but just hammering people with a generic video that just talks about you and what you do. And hey, I see, you could try stuff like, hey, I see you're a business coach, blah, 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 blah. Here's what I do. I just think some people might argue otherwise. I just find, and again, somebody asked earlier, like how many hours, I think it was Jennifer said, how many hours do you do on this type of strategy? It really not that much. I mean, it's really, I kind of try to categorize my prospects or leads, and the same with clients that we work with, and say like, hey, you've got 3 leads that have kind of gone cold, but you had already had this much exchanged. You'd already, they had indicated some real strong buying signals. It's probably worth a selfie video, an audio, whatever it might be, to try to, get them warm back up. So I really just pick and choose them. So it could be as little as a few minutes a day to 30 minutes or an hour a day. It's time you have to spend personalizing, correct? But depending on the form that you use. So if you're doing a video versus audio on the mobile app versus just typing personalized text in with an animated GIF, or, Rosie the dog photos, you can get through them very quickly. And the key thing too, I would just say, is test things. It's been interesting when I test the message about, hey, did you have a chance to get to the book, or did Netflix get in the way? I just fell down a show hole about, whatever it is, Ozark. People will write back about that. They'll be like, yeah, I got stuck watching the waterfront for all weekend. But at least they're re-engaged, right? And at least now you have some banter going. So those are some examples of what you can do. Yeah. So, all right. I love it. Okay. So again, I've got more resources I want to share. And I want to make sure, if you've got additional questions about any of this, type them into the chat. And I see there's lots of people still on. And let me make sure, if you want more direct help, if you want direct help from our team with LinkedIn, just email me, John, John, at nemomediagroup.com, or send me a LinkedIn DM and just say, hey, looking for help with LinkedIn lead generation. We obviously can help you with all of this. So, depending on if you want to explore full service done for you LinkedIn lead generation, we have an agency that does that. If you're more just, hey, I have some specific things I want more tips on, email me or DM me, and we'll find that for you and give that to you. If it's, hey, how do I do this or do that, or a question about this or that? Because again, I want to make sure we can bring you as much value as possible. Now, again, one of the key things, and again, if you want the free resources, go to nemomediagroup.com/free. If you've got more questions about what we've covered today, or LinkedIn lead gen questions in general, obviously just hit me up with that. And I'm going to show a couple more things just to make sure that we cover it all. So again, I'm going to share my screen. We'll go over here. So yeah, this is the page on the website where any of these, if you click on them, you'll be able to go to the actual resource. Just fill it in. It'll send it to you. So if you want the profile template, and then this is on the free page. So just go through. There's the different books, LinkedIn Riches, LinkedIn Profile Template. I have niche books as well. So if you're a business coach or consultant, there's a book for you. If you're a franchise consultant, there's a book for you. If you do mergers and acquisitions, I actually have even more. I don't have them all posted, but CPAs, accountants, all kinds of things. We've got lots of live trainings, the podcast, blogs. We've got more free content than we know what to do with. And if you're like, hey, listen, I really want more to know about the services, go here under services. And then, if you want just the general approach and what we do and all the testimonials and who we work with, you can see that there. Then these are clickable as well. So if you're like, hey, I'm a franchise consultant, then I've got a specific walkthrough video for franchise consultants showing the exact process that we use, showing real franchise consultants talking about their experience with us. Same thing for, coaches and consultants. So you can see a walkthrough video. These are helpful even if you just want to see how to do it yourself, because I share the whole process in these videos of exactly what steps we take, for these coaches that get 5 and 6 figure sales, or consultants. This is all under the services tab in LinkedIn Lead Gen. So just go through if you want to see more examples. Some of the pages too will have resources at the bottom. And if you're interested, if you're like, hey, listen, I love what I'm seeing, I want to see if you guys can help me get leads right now, just click the big orange button, get leads now. Super simple, right? And that will lead to a type form where it takes just about 60 to 90 seconds. And basically you fill that out. You tell us more about your current situation. just click the blue button to get started, start generating leads. That'll take 60 to 90 seconds. It'll have mostly multiple choice questions. Once you fill that out, you're either going to get a link to my calendar, so you can talk to me one-on-one if you fill this out. And if you qualify, basically, I want to make sure I can help you. So there's the way that these questions go through, we can kind of try to figure out if I'm going to be able to help you and qualify. Or what it'll do is it'll give you free resources. If it says, your better fit right now would be to read the book, or it'll say, hey, let us evaluate it and get back to you. But either way, this is the fastest way to get direct help outside of emailing me, right? And I'll probably just ask you to fill this out anyway. But it only takes 60 to 90 seconds. And what I want to do, the goal of this form is basically to figure out how we can best help you. So if that means, hey, you know what, right now the free resources make the most sense, or you actually might be a good fit for our Done For You program. Here's, examples of how we've helped other people just like you. Or, maybe it's some consulting or things like that. You just have some specific questions. Obviously, we want to bring as much value to you as possible. So feel free to fill any of those out. Just click the big orange buttons. You see them everywhere. Generate, get leads now. That'll be that quick type form. The other option, of course, is just to email me. So, and this is our main site as well. Let me go back. I'll turn off the screen sharing. Stop the screen, see if we have any questions or comments. And yeah, otherwise you can email me, send me a LinkedIn DM. I love it. Oh, that's nice. Look at that unsolicited. Thank you, Vienna. Vienna's one of our Done For You clients. She's amazing. The team is great. We love working with you. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Yeah. So if anybody else has any questions, type them in the comments right now. Otherwise, feel free to contact me via email, LinkedIn DM, or go on to nemomediagroup.com, click the Get Leads Now button. You can fill out a type form. I will get back to you. I look at each and every one of them, and either I'll, offer to get on a call with you and try to help you, or, offer free resources depending on what you need. Because, man, there's so much opportunity on LinkedIn right now. I know so many people are feeling frustrated with it. And, man, it's just there's so much spam and there's so much noise and there's so much, blah, but it's never been better. I mean, I wrote this book, I think in 2014. I've been doing this since 2012. And honestly, what's cool about LinkedIn right now is it's working better than ever. But the key is, as we've kind of shown in today's training, you've got to find ways to be unique and different and better than the competition. How do you stand out? How do you personalize your approach? How do you show that you're a real person, you're authentic, you're engaging, you're transparent, you're a real human being? It's not automated bots spamming generic messages. That's the key. All right, so let's see. Love your laugh and your generous. Well, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, Jamie. Appreciate all the great questions. All right, so John says, what do clients like the most to hear about themselves? Well, remind me what you do, John Miller. I can't remember. I'm going to go look through. John Miller, what do you do? Tell me what you do, John, and I'll tell you what your clients want to hear most. I mean, honestly, what do clients want to hear most is how you can solve their problems. Flat, simple. Why do people hire Nemo Media Group? I need leads. Leads, right? So you've got to figure out and reverse engineer based on what your service is. What are the biggest issues people are having that I can solve? It's very simple. Like, marketing is very, very simple. If you walked into the middle of the Sahara Desert with cold ice water bottles, you could basically name your price, correct? Because people are going to be dying of thirst. If you, went to a place that had a bunch of public drinking fountains and free water sources, you're going to have a really hard time selling your bottled water. So part of it is knowing, where to look for people, knowing what situations they're in. The other part too is, are you thirsty? Asking them, like, are you thirsty? Do you have a headache? Because I sell ibuprofen. The big mistake I see a lot of people making is leading with all these potential benefits and things. So, okay, so let's give John a little free coaching here. So, travel fitness coach, I assume that means you travel, or while people are traveling, you help them with their fitness. And then you have a digital agency for gyms. Okay. So gyms, so you have two businesses. It sounds like part of it is you're a fitness coach for people that travel a lot and want to stay in shape. And then you also do digital marketing for gyms that want to get more members. So let's take the first one, people that travel. You could target executives on LinkedIn. The easiest way to do it, and this is what I tell all our clients, reverse engineer who you're already working with. Who are your best clients already? Who are the people that are traveling that are your best clients, that pay you the most, that are great to work with. Look at them and go, how do I make a list of more people just like them? Sally is my favorite client. She travels all the time. She's in pharmaceutical sales. She's 52 years old and she works in this company. Go make a mirror list using Sales Navigator of people like her. Pharmaceutical sales, this many years experience, this type of job title, and then use Sally as your story. Just be like, hey, I'm just reaching out. If I know a lot of pharmaceutical sales reps travel all the time. I work with a bunch of great ones to help them with fitness. Would you ever be interested in my best free tips? Right? Or, hey, do you really struggle with traveling and how to stay healthy on the road? If so, I actually put together a quick blank that shows you how to do it. Would you be interested? So starting with those pain points of knowing, do you travel a lot? Do you struggle with XYZ? That could be part one. The digital agency piece for the gyms could be, hey, are you struggling to get new members locally and looking for some new ideas? Or it could be a case study. So you could, reverse engineer if you've already had a bunch of success with a certain gym using a certain strategy. Hey, I see you have a gym. We actually just put together a case study of a similar type of gym where we help them do A, B, and C. Would you like to see it? Would it be helpful? Right? Just offering that free content. My big thing that I talk about in the book, LinkedIn Riches, is start by offering free content. Content is currency. The best content you can offer is an ebook. I talk about that all the time, but the best content is an ebook where you can basically share your story, your hero's journey, and demonstrate some expertise, share a case study, etc. Because when people read a book about you and it's authentic and it's genuine and it's you and it's your story and it's photos of you. So in your case, John, it might be, why did you get into fitness training? Do you have a great backstory? Like, I was once 300 pounds and I almost died and I changed my whole life and my fitness and now I'm healthy and happy and my mission is to help executives, or something else, right? What's your story? Why do you do it? What's your passion? People will relate to that and connect to that. So yes. Okay. So anyway, I got more questions. Yeah. Pain points. Yeah. So start with the pain points kind of generically, like, hey, are you looking for tips on blank? Are you struggling with this? When they engage, when they want the free content, when they say they're interested, then personalize. So it's a very important process. I outline it all in the book. We obviously do it all for our clients too, but you want to start with, is this even an issue? Do you even have a headache? Are you even thirsty? Are you even looking for water? Because if they're not, you don't want to do all this personalizing. The big mistake you can make on LinkedIn is doing all the hyper personalizing up front. And then the person's like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need your service, but let's be friends. And as my brother-in-law, who's a great salesman, taught me years ago, he's like, I don't need more friends. I need more clients. So I start, and the way with LinkedIn with the cold outreach is, I'll reach out to franchise consultants and I'll say, this is just a niche example. I'll say, hey, I see you're a franchise consultant. Are you wanting to use LinkedIn to get more leads? If so, I actually wrote a whole book just for franchise consultants, LinkedIn lead gen. Should I send over a free copy? That way, if they raise their hand and go, yeah, I am interested, now I know they're a lead. They are a franchise consultant, right? They want leads from LinkedIn. And now I'm going to give them this book or this ebook that tells my story, demonstrates expertise, and does it in a specific niche that they are like, oh, cool. He already works with franchise consultants. He gets me. This book is specific for me. So one of the things I've done with my LinkedIn, right, is done these kind of niched books, ebooks and then printed books on Amazon. So if you are in mergers and acquisitions, we've got a whole book for that, right? And I basically will reach out to a list of M&A advisors or people that help you sell your business brokers, and say, hey, are you looking to get more M&A clients on LinkedIn? If so, I've actually got a great ebook I put together with a case study of an M&A guy we helped, right? Or, oh, are you a franchise consultant? So think of it in your own business, right? Like, how can I niche these ideas more and more? I'm looking for here, I got more books. I got more. Don't worry. Oh, this is another franchise consultant one, right? But the idea is, riches are in the niches. So if you can create niche specific content, then it makes it really easy. And once they say they're interested in the content, then that's what we covered today. Dive in, personalize, bring that out. What's Jude have to say? I loved hearing about your team. Okay. As for the AI tools, it would be bleep in, bleep out for me. Have a great weekend. That's really funny. I love it. Free book on. Okay. Yeah. So if you've got a crazy story, Larry, about your ridiculous life growing up, how does that tie into the business model? Right. So, could it be, your initial LinkedIn outreach could be, hey, do you guys ever use postcard mailers? If so, I put together a free, tip sheet on 5 big mistakes everyone makes with postcard mailers. Do you want me to send it over? Right. So again, leverage your experience and your expertise. If you say, hey, do you guys ever use these? If so, I've spent 30 years in the industry. I actually put together a short ebook sharing my best ideas and insights. Should I send it over? Ask permission-based messaging. You do that all to a bunch of one-on-one prospects, you're going to get a certain handful that say, yeah, send it over. When you send it, it needs to be high quality. It needs to be designed well. It actually needs to have value in there where they can go, wow, these are actually really helpful tips. I would actually use these. This guy is actually legit. Now they're going to be interested in your services. I love it, love it, love it. Yes. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Ask and ye shall receive, John Miller. Yes, you're welcome. And Roy says it's been awesome. All right, so if you've got more questions, email me, John at Nemo Media Group. Send me a LinkedIn DM. I'm John Nemo on LinkedIn. Or go to nemomediagroup.com. Obviously, there we've got tons of info on how to work with us directly, all the free resources. Thank you. I'll be doing more of these. So keep an eye out. Make sure you're trying everything that we're talking about, especially the personalized messaging. It works incredibly well. So get after it. I'll make sure I get a replay out to everyone, tech gods willing, for everyone that was driving or couldn't make it live. And we'll see you soon on another episode. Thanks, everybody.